Good morning, social media on Salon K. This is Amina, and I just drove an hour and a half to get my education on at the Salon Sectric Hair Symposium. I'm so excited. This is the first time since I've been in Alabama that I'm going to in-person training, which you guys all know that I'm an educational junkie, so I'm so freaking excited. So stay tuned for what's new and exciting in 2025 of fall fashion for hair care.
Okay, about a half an inch. Just like so. Y'all can hear me pretty well, right? Because I think this mic is about to get on my nerves. Okay, it won't stay on this side. Let me try this side. How about that? Don't try this. It's a little better. All right, so here we go. We're gonna do the same thing. You know what? We do these techniques behind the chair all the time. It's just sometimes we have to decide where to place these techniques. And that is where it comes into play. That's the purpose of coming to classes. I can do this technique. I can do a weave. I can do a tease. I can do a back comb. I can do this. I can do that. But where do I put it to make it have the best effect? Like the minimum work with maximum effect. That's what we're going for in the salon. We was talking about that. Like we can't be standing behind the chair for 4 to 5 hours doing a foiling technique. We don't have time like that, y'all. Exactly. We won't make money, okay, unless you really charging like that. But I doubt it, because it's taking too long, right? We need to express technique here underneath the occipital bone, okay? And we're gonna do the same thing again. Take a nice grip. See how good that is? And then we're gonna weave through, because we just want some brightness around the face framing part of this technique. And then we're gonna add our foil. Most importantly, we have to saturate. Am I right? Have to saturate. And that's what we're gonna do. Got a little wobbly with these shoes. Still trying to recuperate from Chris Brown. Saturday night was a movie, y'all. So we going up into the tees without going all the way in there, because we don't want any cheetah print up in there. So we try to stay away from just going all the way in the tees. Okay? There we go. We're gonna fold it right in. All right. Still got a little left out. All right, then we're gonna work our way up this side right here, still doing our diagonals. Sometimes it be looking like, okay, making sure that we staying on the same roadmap from the other side, because that's all we're doing. We're just gonna mirror what's going on the other side. Okay, everybody can see? All right. Trying not to let this be big bang season, y'all. Know we gotta be right. So we gotta stand behind the chair and take care of our bodies. All right, there we go. Everybody can see through this? Pretty thinly. That's all we're doing. Let me let y'all get a little peek over there. Y'all can see through that pretty much. All right. And then when we get to this middle section, after I finish these last 2 foils, said I'll just rest my hand under there. Look at that. Lightener, real nice and fluffy. We're gonna lay it right on. A lot of times, try to avoid just going straight in like that, because it's gonna make a really, really hard line. So it's best just to be just a little gentle with your brushing. That's where your mind and your hands come together, I'm telling you. When you start telling your hands to do what your mind tells it to do, it'll line right up. Making sure you saturate good.
Do you have to get out of your clients a lot to sit still while you're doing that though?
I think the most thing is if I don't be talking, they don't be talking. You don't know it's true. And you know, it took me a long time to put a TV in my salon. Anybody don't have a TV, don't ever get one. Like, so I work in a suite now, and at first he was like, well, you know, we got a TV you can put in there. And I'm like, who put TVs in salons? Like, to me, it just slow everything down. Sometimes you try to watch the story, you try to watch the news and all that kind of stuff. It took about 3 months and kind of like carve out the hairline, because this is where you want it to be very, very bold. Okay, so I'm gonna take 2 fingers, carve this out just like this, just like so. Okay, and guess what I'm gonna do with this? Nothing. This will be the only, this piece right here and this section on this side, off this other side, will be the only pieces of hair that you will not touch at all. Because we're gonna do placement right there. We got that? Yes. That makes it express, right? All right, so what we're gonna do on the sides, of course, we're gonna do back diagonals, because guess what? That's where brightness happens at. That's where I want my eyes to travel with the brightness. So we do back diagonals, because it will definitely show you the brightness of the color. All right, we're gonna do the same thing. Now, what a pro tip that I like to give, when you're working around the edges, the hairlines and things like that, the smaller, the brighter, okay? But for the sake of the class today, I'm not gonna make these little micro baby highlights. But for your customization, you definitely can do that, okay? I'm giving you this tool as far as the technique, but when you get behind that chair, you customize it to how you want it to look. So for that brightness, I know to go in with more highlights, or to be very, very bright, okay?
Just fine sections, but more of them.
Say that again?
Fine sectioning, but more of them.
More of them, exactly. So maybe I want it to be super bright on around her hairline, so maybe I'll cut this in half. And then I'll just highlight this, and I'll go all the way through this whole little section just like this, okay? But for the sake of, I think on this one right here, I did it a little bit finer around the edges, but for the most part, she just got a basic express highlight. All right, somebody can pass that around. William, where you go back?